What up, y'all? It's Golden Spaces, an Odyssey original podcast with Nat, Justin, and Kariemah. Y'all, the Dubs won. They beat the Celtics. And it's weird because most of you, if you know me, look at Kariemah dancing. Y'all know that I actually really do like the Celtics. They're my East team, so it's always a little hard for me when I have to root against them. But yeah, Dubs got that win, baby. And I should show y'all the text messages, but me and Kariemah were texting earlier, and we both said ahead of the game, we both believed that the Warriors were going to win. So we're not just saying that now. I was like, I think the Warriors are going to win. And she was like, oh, yeah. So happy about this dub. I just feel like I know that the Warriors got to keep going, Justin. I know that they got to be more consistent. But I feel like this win really helped to dispel a lot of myths or just ridiculous things people have been saying about this team. And to do it with Draymond Green out, Gary Payton II out, with Pods going down in the game, with Steph being in foul trouble. Am I missing something else, Kariemah? I see you.
No, I'm like 5 fouls. That was like 5 fouls.
CP and Wiggins both playing sick.
Yeah. I mean, it was really this was an incredible performance. Overtime, because I was like, oh my gosh. I didn't even mention it because I didn't want to jinx it. I know Anthony Slater is going to tweet that fucking stat about how much it's just like clockwork. If they go to overtime, the Warriors are this many in overtime. And I'm like, please, we don't need you to tweet it every time. So
I didn't see it this time, but
I didn't even look for it. I said, because I was like, I know he's going to tweet it. I don't want to look for it. I don't want to jinx it. Afterwards, he just said like it was their best win of the season and, whatever else he said. But I was so happy. So really, really happy for this one. I want to know how you guys feel about it. I'm just here kind of scrolling because I want to tell y'all what me and Kariemah actually said so you know that I'm not making it up. I was like, I think they're going to win. And she said, LOL. I definitely think we're going to win. I just feel it. I don't know if she said it like that, but I'm saying it like that. So.
I'm sure I said it like that.
These are the text messages. They're real, people. They're real.
Go first.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, it's a great win. Like, it was looking bleak. I think the story of the game, obviously, is Trayce Jackson-Davis and how he changed the energy of the game yet again for the second game in a row. If this doesn't get him in the rotation, like consistently in the rotation, I don't know what will. I think this should get him into the starting lineup, to be honest. But baby steps with Steve. We'll take baby steps with him, I guess. But yeah, I mean, he came in and injected energy in his team, and that's something that has been a part of the Warriors' identity for so long. It is absolutely imperative that they get that energy from the other guys, right? Like Steph and Clay are Steph and Clay, but they aren't 26 and 27-year-old Steph and Clay that's running all over the court. Like, they're older, they're slower, so they need pop and athleticism and energy from the other areas on the court. And that's why sometimes it looks a little bit out of place to have CP3 out there because he doesn't bring that. He just brings another, old style. But Trayce did it. Kuminga did it. Paused for a little bit before he got hurt. He did it. And that's, ultimately what put them over the top.
A question for you. When Steve took Trayce out in the fourth quarter and Dario came back in, because I just tweeted, I said, LMAO, Dario's back in the game, right? Mm-hmm. That he quickly went away from that and brought Trayce back. But when you saw that, what were you thinking? Like, did he do that just to give Trayce a quick breather, or was he just trying to go back to Dario and it wasn't working? And so he was like, all right, we got to just close with Trayce.
No, I think he did it to give him a breather. I was annoyed, but I figured, like, I understood it. The same thing he did. He took JK out for Corey Joseph. I understood taking JK out because he had played a ton up to that point. It's like, all right, give him a breather. But he went to Kojo instead of Moses Moody.
Right.
which that annoyed me. But Moody ended up getting back in and playing well and making a few
Yeah.
timely baskets. So
Yes.
I guess Steve made up for it, but we shouldn't even have been in that position in the first place.
Well, I will say it was definitely a breather. I think it was a breather for Trayce because all of that work he was doing on the boards, keeping every single ball alive, and this being like his second like game of really like going, it was kind of like, listen, just catch your breath real quick. You're gonna get back in because it's evident we're gonna need you. And played the entire overtime with a huge chunk of that fourth quarter. So that's what that was, just to be like, hey, catch your breath real quick, but you're getting right back in. So don't get comfortable, but at least catch your breath. So yeah, but just amazing from Trayce.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much more you could say about him. Some of our viewers, listeners did not appreciate me on the last podcast. I don't know if it was going in on Kerr. I don't care about that because that ain't gonna stop. But like I was right, so I don't care. Like I was right. And I'm not usually like that, but he started again with Dario. They got a big deficit with when I say big, it wasn't, I mean, they ended up going down 17 at one point, right? So I mean, but it was double digit deficit. And part of that is like when also I know Steph got into the foul trouble, but even before the game, there was like a comments from him, and he was just like, "Yeah, I mean, with Draymond out, he definitely brings some of that and gives us a different look. But I can't say he's always going to be in the lineup. Why can't you say that? Why can't you say that, right?" And when we were on last time, and you guys were like, "Yeah, hopefully," and I'm just like, "Okay, we'll see." And he still with the Celtics versus the Celtics with these wings, these athletic guys, and he thought Dario was the answer at 5. And I mean, I get it maybe when like Al Horford is out there, but it didn't make sense, and it bore that out. And like Kevon Looney, I'm sorry, like he's just a negative tonight. Like Justin's been saying it, he doesn't need to play. He's not playable. I don't know if he's going to get back to being playable, but he's not playable. So he, to me, should just lose his rotation spot. We did get to see, because of, the Steph foul trouble, we did get to see Dario and Trayce out there together. And I just think like that's what he needs to aim to do and continue to play Dario at the 4. And, because Dario was hitting threes, but he was giving up everything back
Giving
on
it
the other end. They were just eating. So, again, Dario is not someone who I'm saying take out completely, that he's useless, but the way he's being utilized right now is hurting the team, and sometimes, the same for Chris Paul. But, Chris Paul was out there playing with Trayce, and it looked good. And I hope he keeps that up. A lot of pick and roll. And also they had some nice transition buckets, and Chris got Wiggs a few times in transition. So that was really good to me, like pushing the pace. And I just really he did hit a few shots tonight, but I just need Chris Paul to, one, get back to like his mid-range being money, and to be confident about it, because he doesn't want to shoot it. And like, it's so critical. If he's going to continue to be with this team, it's really critical. So those were my observations, but a great win. I mean, I was so happy. Took some years off of my life. I was like, oh my God, we're going to overtime. and then when the game winner from Steph, like, well, I mean, he did do free throws after, but like, because that play was all busted up. And like, so for him to hit that, I was like, oh my God, no, please, they're going to blow it. And then I was like, oh my God. It was just...
Not you with the negativity talking about, oh, they're going to blow it. No.
I mean, we know their overtime stats. We know what they've done.
Exactly.
And it was just like, and even to get the first few points in overtime, was like, I was like, guys, please, just easy buckets. Like, we don't need all of these. Thank God Kuminga got a steal. I was like, please, guys, what are we doing? And then even when they went up after the lead, it's like, Clay, you didn't need that three. It looked off when it left your hand. Like him, I love Clay. I love Steph. They just always want the kill shot. And I get it. They're the Splash Brothers. But it's just like, bro, just come on. Like, we have the ability to get some baskets at the rim. Just get them easy buckets and win this overtime.
Yeah, the first one they ran, like they got up 4, and then they ran the double screen for Steph to get Clay that 3 on the wing. That one was a pretty good one. He was pretty wide open. He just missed it. I was like, dang, if he hit that one, they would went up 7.
Yeah.
And then after they started like just kind of like launching some. I mean,
but it was weird because it was off when it left his hand. Like when I saw it in the air, I knew it wasn't going in.
Yeah. I mean, they won that game with defense though. Like they gave up a ton of points in the first half, 65 points. They gave up a ton of points again in the third quarter, 32 points, and then 24 points in the fourth quarter and 5 in OT. Like that's how you win that game, right? Like you stopped the Celtics. Like they were all not all hot. Derek White was the only one who was really hot, but even he got cold towards the end of that game. Held the Celtics to 41% from the field and 29 from 3. That's pretty good. And Steph coming in even with 5 fouls and doing what he did defensively. He's really good, taking that charge and just not completely letting guys go by him, even when he has 5 fouls. That was huge. Kuminga as well on Jason Tatum. Like that's the type of stuff they need to get back to, but they can only do that if they play all of their athletes, right? Like we saw in the first half, Loon and Dario are it's a layup line for the other team. It's sad, but it's a layup line for the other team. And if they don't get the layup, they're going to get the rebound back, in transition. Neither Loon nor Dario can get back. Trayce can. Right. So it's just a multitude of reasons on both ends why Trayce needs to play more. The athletes need to play more. Moody, Kuminga, the wings, the guys who can do stuff at the rim and be athletic and match up with these other teams. They just got to play.
And they also have to show up when their number is called too, because we have these athletes that are MIA at times where we're just like, this is the game for you. Like, we're going to need you to show up. But kudos to JK for just kind of like going balls to the wall and is like, I am going to make my presence felt in this game.
Did you see him talking shit to the Celtics bench?
Yeah, because they was probably talking a lot.
No, I loved it. I'm just saying, did you see it?
But that even backed it up is where I was just like, this is what we're talking about, Jonathan. This is the type of energy that we need to see always when you're out there. Don't wait till, I'm starting now, so now I can bring it. No, however you're coming into the game, it needs to be at that level always.
Did you see him directing the Splash Brothers on the court?
Yeah, I saw him, direct them in this one play. But look at him, taking ownership of that and saying, no, this is what I'm trying to get right here because I can see it. So that was awesome. And what was that? Like in the first quarter, I felt like, or the second, just early on. So he was ready. He was dialed in.
He did it again, I think later on in the game too, where he told Clay to set that the relocation screen for Steph.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like you said, he's seeing the patterns, he's seeing the pictures, and that's a big thing of development, being able to notice things that's going on in the court and be able to predict or try to influence what's going to happen next. So that's key. Yeah. That's key for him.
Him and Trayce were so key to the defense tonight. I thought.
Oh,
among other things, but I mean,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Huge blocks by Trayce on Jaylen Brown both times, which I love that. It was just he was everywhere, and we needed that. It was just like, he's going to keep these balls alive. He's going to grab these tough rebounds and just make things happen. And I will have to give a little bit of, kudos to Lil Chris. I mean, CP3, because early on he just was stinking it up, and I just needed him to have several seats. However,
he got better as the game went on.
He got much better. And the fact that he had to let his teammates know Curry is
Steph
in
on
foul.
defense. Yeah.
Like, guys, if one more and he's out of the game, and then we really are going to be up,
Mhm.
The
Right. He should have never picked up that fifth because I was just like, why is Steph even on Jalen? And someone was like, whoa, they switched and yeah, I know this was a rhetorical question. Like, I understand what happened, but like, you can't give up the switch. Like, you have to, like, he needs some help. You cannot just leave him on an island with Jalen Hurts and Jalen Hurts, oh Lord, with Jalen Brown.
What are we thinking about right now?
Sorry. I had my football team disappointing me. So, thank God the Warriors didn't do it tonight.
Yeah, but understandable. But the fact that, he did, corral them and say, look, we've got to step this up because we got to protect him.
Yeah, because he should have never even gotten the fifth one. I was mad about that. Like, what are we doing here, people?
There were a lot of questionable fouls.
Oh, the fouls on him were ridiculous tonight.
And it was just like, he's got 5 fouls, who everyone's come to see. And they're just, And
I thought that third one he picked up was really ridiculous. I wanted Kerr to challenge that one where he basically took the ball from
Derek White. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and they were what foul?
That one wasn't going to go
That was clean.
They were going to.
I just thought the one he challenged had no chance. Like, I felt like that one at least had a little chance.
Yeah, but I mean, again, it's all up in the air, and the fact that he got fouled, like Jason Tatum literally elbowed him off his spot, no call. And it's like wide open. Like, what are we doing? But he gets those kinds of calls. It's very frustrating.
And all the travels called on the Warriors, but none for the blatant, obvious travels of the Celtics.
Maron, that one with Drew Holiday. Like, how? How do you miss that one?
Right.
But okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, listen, big win. The vibes are up over here. We haven't done a vibe ranking in quite a while. Where are we on the vibe scale, Justin?
Just because it's the Celtics, I'm gonna say we had an 8 right now.
I was thinking 8 too. We're simpatico.
Can't go 10 yet.
Where are you, Kariemah?
Listen, I'll be at an 8 too.
Okay. 8's all around. Okay. So listen, but some other things that happened in this game. So Podziemski, our dear Podziemski, I heard it's a back strain, but I didn't see the official reporting for it. So I don't know who said that. That's what Warriors Twitter was telling me.
Yeah.
But he did take a pretty hard hit, fall, didn't come back in the game. Don't know if he's going to miss any extended time because if it's a back strain, I feel like that sounds like something he would miss time for. They do have 2 nights off though. So before their next game, I mean, Pods is really key to this team right now. So especially if they're not going to have GP2 back yet or anything. So, I mean, they play different roles, but I'm just saying, they really can't afford, I don't think, to be down another player. So, but obviously I just want Paz to feel better and be okay. So hopefully, I mean, he was on the bench later and cheering and standing up. So, I'm sorry I stopped, but our producer is messaging us things. So apparently Steve Kerr said about Trayce, he's gonna play, he's gonna be in the lineup. Clarified after that it meant rotation, not necessarily starting lineup, but he needs to be in the starting lineup. Like we should be over. I'm sorry, like Loon is not it. How much more do you need to see?
Unless he's starting Dario.
Right. Unless it's Dario and then you're making Trayce your backup. That's the only acceptable thing.
Yeah. Loon has to be the last choice at this point.
But I really like Trayce out there in the Steph minutes. So,
yeah.
But I mean, I see, I just feel like if Dario is out there and Trayce is out there, I just feel like Chris Paul is gonna still do silliness with
Dario.
with Dario.
Yeah, at
So
least
As he did.
it'll be better if Trayce is at the 5, but I just feel like if Trayce is out there with the starters, I feel like we don't have to worry about the Dario stuff.
Yeah, at least today with Dario and CP3, it was more of a pick and pop thing rather than pick and roll. I don't remember them like really trying to spam Dario rolling towards the basket for post ups and stuff. It was just like, hey, shoot a 3, and he hit 3 of them. Right?
There was one post up they did, and I tweeted right
Yeah.
then, just stop the post up, please. Like they
Yeah.
don't work. Okay, more from Steve Kerr. We need both. No, you don't. We're going to need Trayce and Loon. They'll both play. No, you don't.
Yeah, it's matchup dependent.
And I think at this point, he's probably just saying that, like,
because he hasn't told Looney yet. Like,
or because you just don't want to totally kill Loon, but like, no, you don't. The numbers, the eye test, everything, brother. Like, you don't.
Yeah.
Not this version of Loon.
No, he needs to get it together for real. But in general, like Loon is more suited for the big bruiser bigs than even Trayce is. Trayce is like the athletic bigs, Al Horford's, those type of guys. And Loon's more so like Nurkic's and like, Sabonis and Jokic, those types. But it's like, how many of those type of bigs in the league? Not a lot. Right? Like I wouldn't put Trayce on Embiid. I would probably put Looney on Embiid over Trayce, but every team they play, most teams they play are going to have like a more athletic, mobile big, or at least they're going to have a bunch of guards and wings that use bigs in the pick and roll to get downhill. And you have to be able to move your feet and slide in front of those guards, which Loon cannot do at this point. So, yeah, it should be 80% Trayce, 20% Loon, only for those specific matchups against those really, really, heavy bigs. Okay.
For sure. Well, hoping for good news, like I said, on Pods. Was pretty good in his minutes too earlier before he went down. So he continues to do the thing. We mentioned Moody already. Got better as the night went on too. He had some struggles early in the game. Yeah. So glad that he didn't lose his confidence. He was sort of aggressive tonight too. Attacking a little bit. Needs to work on that finishing, but
he does.
His free throws.
He did. I mean, like I've been saying, like with Moody, he needs to be a little bit more aggressive as a scorer and confident in his ability to score. Like he's pretty confident in his jump shot. It's it's kind of a slow release, so he guys can get a good contest on him sometimes. But as far as going to the basket, it's like, brother, like you're more athletic than you think. Like you can go up there and really try to jump over some of these guys and finish it. I think he tries to hurry up and lay it up quick a lot, and it's like you're throwing yourself off. Just take your time, jump high. He's another guy that's like, bro, just try to dunk it a few times. And he's dunked on people before, so it's like I don't know why he doesn't just try to dunk it more often. But yeah, I think that's something that's like a next step in his offensive development, being able to attack the closeouts because teams know he can shoot, and just be able to finish like with athleticism at the rim.
For sure. This is the real youth movement, the one that they didn't have last year and wanted to lean into. You have it this year. Lean into it. Lean into it. We need each one of those guys. We need Kuminga. We need Moody. We need Pods. And we need Trayce. And that's incredible that 2 rookies are making such an impact, really.
Yeah, early on. So, and we've needed it, so.
Yeah, and I was going to say, in a way, it just kind of highlights some of the older veteran guys like underperforming, which is like it's bittersweet because you see that you got these young guys that can play, but it's like we really shouldn't need them at this point as much as we do.
Yeah,
we actually need them to win, not let alone like need them to actually play. We need them to play and play well and play a lot for us to win games. And it's like, dang, like.
But I don't mind, like, if you can do it and you can play, then, I mean, obviously, if the older guys could still do what they did, we'd just be a much more dangerous team. But
right.
You know, I it's unfortunate that Wiggs got sick, but I think Wiggs is on the upward trajectory. I do.
I
And
hope so.
they'll have to figure out what to do with him. But like I said, I don't really care if he stays on the bench or if he starts. So none of that matters to me. But just that he's being more aggressive and, you know, playing better. And he was sick tonight. People need to remember that. But he was out there running the floor. I thought he was decent, all things considered.
Yeah,
Mhm.
he was, but he has 2 days off to get well. So,
Yeah.
and we
And look,
expect
guys, I'm sick right now too. So like this stuff, whatever it is going around is real, you know. And clearly Chris Paul gave it to him. So don't be mad at Wiggins for getting something that Chris Paul gave to him. People like every time he plays well, he misses like y'all never accidentally jammed your finger in anything. Like I'm sure he did not try to intentionally jam his finger in the door.
not according to Warriors.
I know they're like so mad at an
It's never,
accident.
never happened in life to them that they've stubbed their toe, that they've slammed their finger in a car door, you know, in your desk from way back when desks used to lift up like this. Yeah, you guys are way too young for that. But jamming your finger.
What are you talking about? Justin's way too young for that, not me. I had those desks. He doesn't know about that.
Which desk?
Yeah, you can read it in history books. But but yeah, they act like, you know, it's never happened to them. So giving Wiggins a bad rap for, you know, slamming his
Yeah,
feet.
like he's like, let me injure myself so I don't have to play. Like I'm sure,
Because I
yo,
play so well
when
now.
you jam your finger, that shit
Go
does
back.
not feel good. Trust me, I do not think he intentionally tried to do
Right.
that. And the getting sick is just whatever. It's just annoying, but whatever. Like I said, he to me, like again, there were some times where like he's just missing stuff at the rim. Andrew, please just dunk it, please. But outside of that, it's like I said, he was running the floor. You know, I thought he was decent in his minutes.
Yeah, more effort. You know, I would like to see him be a little bit more aggressive towards the rim, just in general. A lot of times, it's
Yeah.
like he'll take one dribble and be like, "Okay, like I'm gonna just stop and shoot this mid range." It's like, nah, you can just take one or two more dribbles and try to go through somebody's chest. Like
Right?
that would probably yield better results.
Get a little closer.
Um, yeah, just get a little bit closer. And he's been making his free throws recently as well. So it's like,
He
how about you
has.
just shoot
That has
more
been
free
really good. I just think he's nervous about his handle and getting stripped.
I mean, I would be too with that handle that we've been seeing.
throws?
But still, it's kind of just like, listen, just get a little closer. That's all. You don't have to be
Yeah.
fancy with it, but
Yeah, and he's the type of athlete where, like, I mean, he's never had a great handle, but he's the type of athlete where he can take two strong dribbles and just make a really athletic move, like make a Euro step or try to, bump into somebody or something. Just shield the ball with his body. He can do that as well. So I think they need more of that. And yeah, just dunk the ball when you're near the rim. Especially if no one's around you or if it's like somebody kind of behind you or something in your general area, just dunk. It would
yeah.
be easier for everybody.
Yeah, I mean, and look, the rookies. I mean, not the rookies. Well, not only the rookies. The young guys deserve love, but we gotta give a shout out to the Splash Bros. Today and just in the last few games. I mean, Steph wasn't on the other night, but Clay was huge
Yeah.
last game. He's been great the last several games. Tonight, they both big shots, just doing what the Splash Brothers do. So, I mean,
Yeah.
shout out to them.
For real, because
Shout out to
they're
them.
gonna take out Curry, and Curry's hitting Clay just like old times. Just beautiful, beautiful shots going in. So Clay has really like just found his stroke again and has just been killer for us. Just
I think Clay told Steve Kerr he had to put him back in, like at that time when he had Kojo out there, that silly lineup. Because because I was tweeted, I was like, what is this
he was
lineup?
doing stuff. Chris,
I was like, what is this lineup? And then someone had the audacity to be like, it's working. I said, it's working better because now Clay is out there. But when I tweeted that at the moment, Clay wasn't out there. So he had Kojo, Chris Paul, Jonathan Kuminga. Who else was out there?
Wiggins and Looney.
It was.
I was like, it was ridiculous.
Like, this is the
where's
worst
the shooting? Who's going to score in this lineup?
Look, it was Corey because Chris wasn't doing jack bone. Corey was moving and he was making layups and stuff. So
he made like one layup, but
guess what? He made it.
That was a horrible lineup.
Chris at that time it was just like
that was a bad lineup. There's no it's indefensible. It got better once Clay came in.
It was early to know that
he took Kuminga out when Clay came in, right?
He took Kuminga out for Kojo initially.
Yeah.
But who was it who passed Kojo? Because I think that was after Clay came in. No, that was before Clay came in.
What do you mean? They did what to
That
Kojo?
one little layup that Kojo got.
I don't know if Clay was already in at that point, but yeah, it was an
awful lineup.
Yeah, it was no spacing. They were doubling off of Looney.
It was just
so weird.
I get that Steph is in foul trouble, but are you serious right now? You have Moses Moody.
And then we had Pods, the news of Pods going out. So that one was kind of like a scramble, clearly.
No, you do not ever put a lineup out there like that. You got Moses Moody there who can shoot, and you have Klay Thompson. It's still inexcusable. It's inexcusable.
Yeah,
it was bad.
At no point should Steph and Clay both be off the floor, just in general, but especially with no Moody on the floor as well. That just doesn't make any sense. You just have like no spacing. And no Pods. Like who is shooting the threes? Who's pulling defenders away? That just didn't make any sense at all. But I think the Splash Bros combined for like 29 points in the fourth in the OT combined. I mean, that's the Warriors' way. That's been the Warriors' MO for all these years. The defense, and then the Splash Bros just kind of carry you home. Steph, did the bulk of that scoring. But Clay hit a few, threes and tough shots. And in the OT, he got that second bucket for them that put him up 4, that dumped down off the Trayce for the dunk. He's gotten a lot better post-injury at taking in defenders and being able to dish it off. He's been more of a ball handler,
playmaking
distributor. Yeah, the playmaking has gotten way better after the Achilles injury. But yeah, I mean, we kind of buried the lead with all the other stuff. But I mean, Steph and Clay, 6 threes apiece. They combined for 57 points. Yeah. Clay is pretty much back into his form. Steph is Steph. Everybody else has got to play with energy, play defense. And that's what they did. Yeah.
Yeah. And hit the night at the end. That was just
hit the night. Absolutely psychotic shot.
Yeah. Just I was like
ridiculous. Like the ability to think that fast and say, I got to shoot this up like 40 feet in the air. And then to have the touch for it to actually just hit nothing but the bottom of the net. It's just like, don't compare anybody ever shooting a basketball to this dude. Like,
and shout out to Reggie's son, who is the ultimate Stephen Curry fan. Like,
yeah, that's pretty cool.
That is awesome. That is awesome.
Mm-hmm. But no shout out to Reggie though.
Listen, the fact that
Reggie was annoying me tonight.
Reggie so
even bring his son and be like, listen, this is your dude. Like, you gotta give it to Reggie.
Yeah.
I mean,
what did Reggie say? He said something where it was
but he's
when Steph took the charge, he was like, I'm surprised the Celtics don't want to review this. I'm like, can you shut up? I'm like, this is Steph's 5th foul. First of all, it's a clear charge. Second of all, why are you talking about review it when that can potentially get Steph fouled out the game? Like, come on, bro.
Right.
Relax. And then he's talking about CP3 should get the game ball. Cut it out.
He said CP3. He said
Trayce, and then he said CP3 too.
Yeah, and I was just like, not CP3. You can give it to Trayce and we can
Right.
stop there, or you can give it to Trayce. You can give it to Curry for battling like he did with 5 fouls and hitting those huge shots to seal it,
Mm-hmm.
even get us to
Yeah.
OT. So,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
he
So.
put CP3 in there, and I was like, no.
All right. So sorry. Every time you guys are talking, I'm looking down. I just want for anyone watching to know that I'm not being rude. I'm just looking to see if there are updates that we need to talk about on the pod, because we basically record this right after the game. And so what we don't want is like that we're just yapping and yapping and then we miss something. Y'all like, why did y'all talk about this? So when I'm looking down and stuff like that, guys, that's why I'm listening. But I'm not intentionally being rude. So just want the audience to know that. Okay, so let's look ahead. Oh, by the way, All-Star voting has started, guys. Hopefully y'all got them votes in today. But if you did not, make sure you are voting. I mean, guys, if we're being honest, we only have one All-Star. I know Warriors fans are going to vote for other guys, but okay, we only have one All-Star. Podziemski update. Apparently, he said his back is already feeling better and hopes to be ready by Friday's game. You know, they're going to give him a lot of treatment, 2 nights off. So, you know.
And he's a tough guy. So,
yeah.
you know.
So, but thanks. That helps us transition nicely into, because Friday's a big game. It's a big game. But again, I just want to remind you guys to vote for All Stars. Did you vote today, Justin and Kariemah? Did you guys vote?
I didn't vote at all today.
I did.
Okay.
And, you know, do I feel bad about it? Sure. But I will vote tomorrow.
They're going back to the old East-West format. Are they still doing
But are they doing the hashtag voting, or do you still?
No, you can only do, it's so annoying. No, you can only do the votes with you can vote twice though, guys. And I think people get confused about this. I want to explain this. You can vote via the app. So if you have the NBA app, you can vote there. And you can also vote by going to vote.nba.com. So 2 different ways to vote 2 times each day. You know, we know the Lakers are going to give LeBron that nasty boost, so he will win. No, but really, we got to vote this year because Steph is not, I don't think he's going to get the media vote. So we got to push him over because you have Shea having such an incredible season and it's warranted. OKC has, you know, they have a top record in the West, and then Luka's also like going crazy. So the way for us to get Steph to be a starter is going to be with us voting for him.
Facts.
And he will get more votes than both of those guys.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I voted Steph and Shea is my backcourt.
Yeah, you got to you can't give votes to Shea though, even though he should be it. You got to be strategic because then you help.
Steph and Clay then. We're going to get Clay in there too.
Whoever, I'm just saying, I mean, we'll see when you get the first vote totals, but you can't give him the vote. So sorry, Shea, you'll get them from the media. I gave mine to De'Aaron Fox.
Good choice.
I did Steph and De'Aaron Fox. And then my front court was Kawhi, PG, and Jokic. Ain't nobody on the Lakers getting my vote. Fuck that.
Oh, I don't ever vote for any Laker.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did Kawhi, KD, and Jokic, I think.
Yeah, I mean, KD's valid too, but I just, I love Paul George, and I think he's having a season that warrants it. So, so yeah, so it was like Jokic or KD, but it's kind of like, okay, come on, it's Jokic. So, but everybody should know this about me. Justin knows Kawhi and Paul George are both players who I really, really like. So they're gonna get my votes. This is not even a hate on KD thing, if it's warranted, and they are both having seasons that warrant it. So that was my ballot. And in the East, my ballot was I went Halliburton. Who did I don't remember who I picked as my second guard right now. Because I was thinking Brunson, but I ended up not going with Brunson, but it's escaping me who I picked for the second spot. And then I did
Trey
who?
in Atlanta, or did you get
I
Donovan?
definitely didn't do Trey. I didn't do no Dame Lillard.
I said Donovan.
No.
Pretty sure I did Hallie and Maxey.
Yes, Tyrese. Sixers, yes. I did Hallie and Maxey. Yep, same
both
thing.
both Tyrese's.
That's cute.
Yeah.
I did those two. There you go. Thank you, Justin. And then I did Giannis, Tatum, and Embiid.
Yeah.
So that will be my ballot going forward. Yes, again, I do believe Shea is deserving of a spot, but guys, we're being strategic here. We're trying to get Stephen into the starting spot. So you cannot give votes to Trayce. I mean, we can always vote for Trayce, but you can't give them to SGA. Can't give them to Shea. So think about it. Be strategic, guys. Be strategic. Okay. Next games, though. Big game. Jordan Poole comes to town. Jordan Poole. And they also have Portland, a back-to-back, but that's back here, or back at Chase, rather. So they have those two games before Christmas Day. Now, right now, the Warriors are one game under 500. And we talked about this, Justin. If they can win these next two games at home, then they go into Denver on Christmas Day being one game over 500. So if they were to lose it, they'd be back at 500, but then they'd have two more games at home to close out the month.
Mm-hmm.
Now, obviously, I would love it if they win all the games, but
yeah,
and I think they're motivated to do it. So not really a but. And the last time they played Denver, it was a close game, and Dre didn't play.
Mm-hmm.
So all those things are true. I don't know if GP2 would be back by then, but it's really just more so about how Steph traditionally has performed on Christmas Day.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, maybe against Denver, and if they hunt Jokic and pick and roll, maybe he'll get out of that funk with just some really high quality shots against that Denver defense. So we'll see.
But
Hopefully,
we'll talk about Christmas Day closer to that time.
Yeah. I mean, they got this back-to-back coming this weekend. I mean, hopefully they have everybody except obviously Draymond ready to go for that Christmas Day game. That would be perfect. So no extended absence for Pods, Gary back, Wiggins not sick, CP3 not sick. That would be pretty good to have.
Yeah, and to go in there kind of just like ready to rock and roll and get a win.
Yeah.
But we need to get 2 wins before that at home. So it is, because I just know Jordan Poole is going to have himself a night. Like, I just know it's going to happen.
Well, which night, though, is he going to have?
I think he's gonna perform well. I'm not saying that the Wizards are gonna win, but
well, we hope not. Look, I mean, but I do hope that Jordan has at least a decent showing, because what he hasn't been having.
He's been playing better. I think now that they've decided to put the ball in his hands a little bit more. I mean, I don't watch like every Wizards game. Justin, you might see a little bit more of them, but I think they haven't really been utilizing him that well.
I
don't know if you'd say that.
I mean, I think he's just, he's just an interesting player at this point in his career. Not really sure what happened. But, well, I am sure what happened. But, yeah, some days he's amazing. Some days he is bad. And that's just kind of how it's been for him.
Well, what I've seen from Wizards fans is they get pretty annoyed, like, when he's, like, taking out the game. And they're like, oh, Kuzma. And, I mean, I think there's a bit of an issue with the touches between him and Kuzma and who's handling the ball.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, some games he'll get, like, near 20 shots. Some games he'll get, like, 10 shots. So it's kind of definitely up and down. I mean, it's going to be a game where he gets 20 against us, like 20 shots.
Yep.
Whether he makes them or not we'll see. But I mean, even still, like he can go for 40 and they still should beat the Wizards.
Yeah, that's a winnable game. I mean, like they were just up on the Suns and let the Suns come back. The Wizards are not a good team, so it's actually pretty unacceptable if they lose that game. It's just more so that it's a big game because Jordan's coming back. And it was supposed to be a big deal, but Draymond is not there. So that will take some of, and I'm glad actually too.
I was just going to say that.
I'm actually glad about that. But that is because people are like, why is this game televised? That's why, because it was supposed to be Jordan's return and Draymond, but Draymond's not there. So it is a nationally televised game. And then they have Portland after that. So it is a back-to-back, but hopefully because it's in San Francisco, they can, hopefully get the win versus the Wizards and then find some energy with the home crowd to muster a second win.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully they're blowing them out so they can sit guys. Even though they're guys, I mean, other than Steph and Clay and, I mean, obviously CP3 as well for some reason. Everybody else isn't really heavy minutes guys. It's usually hovering somewhere around 25, 15 to 25. So should be good.
And Steve Kerr just saw what Trayce did to Portland. So there should be just play Trayce straight up from the beginning.
Yeah. Because they got they got Gafford, who's like another athletic, not really big wing. I mean, big. He's like 6'9", athletic. So this is not a Looney matchup. This is a Trayce matchup. Like they're pretty much the same type of player. So hopefully he goes to Trayce earlier. And yeah.
Oh yeah, I was talking about for when they play Portland again. You already have the blueprint on them. But I mean, the Wizards. I mean, you should. Like I said, I really can't see that many matchups that Trayce shouldn't be playing in. So there's not many. But yeah, for sure. I don't want to see Dario again when you just saw what Trayce, how he devastated Portland. So.
Yeah. Dario kind of has to play, but yeah. What'd you say?
When I say I don't want to see him again, I mean not at all, but not you going to him, leaning on him be it should be more Trayce and using Dario sparingly.
Yeah, I agree.
As needed.
I was saying that Portland will be licking their chops because they want to try to get us back.
Portland beat Phoenix tonight, apparently.
Yeah, so not apparently, they did. So it's done.
This is what I always tell people when they were when we lost to Portland the first time, people were like, I was like, Portland is a good team. They're like how Orlando was, I want to say a year ago, or maybe two, where they can be in games and, challenge you. They're, but yeah, I mean, both of these are winnable games. That's the point. I'm not saying that they will win, but they're winnable games. And to me, the reason they lost the lead versus Portland is because they went away from Trayce. And that's why I'm saying you have the blueprint for Portland. So yeah, they're going to be better prepared for it because now they've seen it. But I'm just saying, go to Trayce, use him.
Yeah. And I mean, this is golden opportunity for them to leapfrog Phoenix in the standings. Hopefully they take care of business and do so because Phoenix is not playing well right now. They have gone on this little weird stretch where they lose two, then win one, lose two, win one, lose two, win one. They've lost the first against Portland. They play Sacramento next in Sacramento. So maybe that's a loss too. They lose then, and we win both against Portland and the Wizards. You take them up in the standings. So,
yeah, I mean, they're only, they only have now one more loss than the Suns.
Right. Yeah. Over their last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever, almost 8 or 9 games, they've only beaten the Warriors by 3.
Of course.
The Wizards, after the Wizards were kicking their tails for most of that game, and the Grizzlies without Ja. They've lost to every other team they've played in like their last 10 games. They're
The
just not
Warriors really
good.
should be able to do what the Clippers did, because I remember there was a time when us and the Clippers had the same record, and then they just like went on a win streak, and that's all you need. I mean, the Clippers are now 6. If they could just string together, it doesn't even have to be like 9 in a row like the Clippers, but like, you know, you play 13 games and you win like 11 of them, or just whatever, you know, like
Yep.
they really can, you know, they can probably get within that top 8. Because the Lakers aren't playing that great right now either.
Yeah,
They're
they
only
lost 2 in a row.
two.
They
They're
lost.
only 2 behind the Lakers. I mean, from the 7th spot, the Pelicans have 12 losses. Lakers have 12 losses. Houston has 11, and Phoenix has 13. So they can definitely jump back into that 7 or 8 position, and then try to see over the course of the season if they can make their way into that top 6 and avoid the play-in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you got to do it. They got to do it.
But they're definitely now within striking distance.
Well, we just keep this winning up.
Right. Just take it a
Winning is
game at a time.
I mean, they're set up nicely over the rest of this month and next month to do it, to get themselves back in the mix.
Exactly. Like we said, until February, they're playing only, 5 road games,
Yeah.
bunch of home games,
That's right.
a lot of, I wouldn't say weaker teams. There's not a ton of weak teams in the NBA, but games you should win, even with Draymond out, especially if you have everybody back except Draymond. You should be in a pretty good position against a lot of these teams. So
Yeah.
it's time. It's time they go on that run. Kind of, I wouldn't say save their season, but yeah, save their season.
Yeah. You're right.
Yeah, because Curry said we're trying to be in the playoffs. Like that's our goal. We want to be in the playoffs. So,
Any last words from you, Kariemah, before we wrap?
no, but great win tonight. It was amazing all the way down to the wire. 10 point, like 4 seconds left to go. You know, yeah, no, but it
He
was
hit the night. I was like,
did.
no, I didn't have a problem with them. Just like, there's still 10 seconds left. Y'all better not fuck this up.
No, but it was awesome. So awesome.
Because you just know if it was OKC, they would like foul on a 3-point shot. It would go in, and OKC would get like a basket.
Look, the Raptors tried everything they could to give this game to Boston. Everything they could.
All right, y'all. It's been real. It's been fun. The vibes are up. Good win by the squad. So listen, guys, we of course always thank you for tuning in. As you see, I take the feedback and incorporate it. So appreciate y'all. Not everything, but we take some of it when it makes sense. So but thank you for supporting us, listening. Winding down, holiday season. We're winding down, man. Happy holidays for anyone right now for whatever you're celebrating. But make sure you are following us on Twitter, or X rather, and Instagram at Golden Spaces Pod. Also, please leave us a review that's favorable, or you can also give us a 5-star rating. We appreciate it wherever you listen to your podcast. You should also subscribe to 95.7 The Game's YouTube channel, which is where you can find the latest episodes of Golden Spaces. And if you're subscribed, when a new one drops, you will be alerted. Tell a friend, share. But thank you for rocking with us. We appreciate you. So back-to-back coming up. So you probably won't hear from us until the second night of the back-to-back. But until next time, take care and enjoy this dub. Later, y'all.
Bye.